Welcome back.
Wow, that was smooth.
Off the jump.
Welcome.
I was prepping it.
I love it. I
Mhm.
love it. Here we are. We are officially at week 1 of the college football season. Week 1 of the NFL next year. This is the best time of year.
It is absolutely. Did you watch SportsCenter in the morning, like when you were getting ready to go to school and
Yes,
everything?
it's not the same anymore.
It's not. Nope. So the way my schedule was set up is when I woke up, it would be on the highlights, and then went, brushed my teeth, showered, did all I had to do to get ready, and then right before I had to walk out my door to go to bus stop, it was top 10. Top 10, baby.
Love it.
Top
Same
10.
way.
Yes.
Had to see it.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I was sprinting to the bus stop every morning, but I was going to see what number 1 was.
Yep. It was must. And then you talk about it with people on the bus or at the bus stop.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
But speaking of college football, we've got some good games this weekend. We'll start with kind of the Thursday night slate that we have tonight.
Okay.
Tonight we have the big one tonight is the Colorado Buffaloes are playing North Dakota State.
Prime time.
Which Colorado should be on upset alert tonight.
You heard it here first, people.
I like North Dakota State to cover.
Okay.
I believe the spread is 9.5 right now.
Okay. So what's the rule there? If you have the underdog covering, normally you want to go with the unders. I think is that the formula?
I don't like to bet unders. So I would stay away from it because I think the over's probably
fair enough.
But I think with the way North Dakota State runs the ball and the way they run their offense, this could be a game where the under would be in play. I think
I'm all over the place here, people. Just go with it.
I think you're looking at let's see, total 60.5.
Oh, that's a lot of points. Damn. Okay.
I would say first game of the year, you're probably I don't know. I would say if North Dakota State wins, probably the under hits.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, or wins or covers. I have to think.
I think they could still cover and it be hit the over.
Okay.
North Dakota State is an FCS powerhouse.
Okay.
Who is normally always in contention for the championship at that level.
Okay.
They play a ground and pound style of football
built for the unders.
Colorado, their defense was suspect last year. Obviously they big in the transfer portal. We'll see what happens. I don't know if North Dakota State can stop their speed, but we'll see.
So you're going North Dakota covering with the overs, if you had to. You had to parlay.
If I had to parlay that, I would probably go North Dakota State with the over.
With the points and the overs.
Because I don't like betting unders.
Okay. Fair enough. It's a good rule to go by.
But I also think at this point of year, defenses are ahead of offenses.
So, okay. It's one way to look at it.
You could look at the under as a possibility.
Sure.
You saw that last week with Florida State and Georgia Tech. Not a whole lot of points in that game. Where a lot of people were saying that the over was going to hit. Also, how about that upset on week 1? Some people had Florida State
going all the way.
Going all the way, making the playoff. Going to be a little harder to do now, but still possible with the 12-team playoff or whatever it is.
You got that bad quality loss now, right?
Well, Georgia Tech could be good this year.
Yeah.
The ACC is kind of
you
don't know what's going to happen.
True.
It's a
crapshoot.
One team from the ACC that I believe is playing tonight is NC State, who they have a transfer quarterback from Coastal Carolina, Grayson McCall, who could be a dark horse Heisman favorite. I was a big Coastal fan when they played BYU. 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
And upset BYU. Also, shout out to tonight's slate. We have Utah and Southern Utah. The head coach at Frostburg um, took the job at Southern Utah 2 to 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And has
okay.
done well over there.
Okay.
Now they're an FCS school. They're getting paid to play Utah. Spread there's 38. Last year, they took Arizona State, and I think Arizona State beat them by a field goal or a touchdown or something
Took
like
them
that.
to the wire. Okay.
Arizona State was not very good, but I think Utah they're ranked number 12 right now and probably a good contender to be in the playoff.
Okay.
But I think they can cover 38.
Okay.
So
going with your coach.
If you want to cover 38, want to put down a little line.
It's a huge spread to want to go.
It's a lot of points.
Yes, that is a.
I'm not saying they're going to win or it's going to be close, but I think they can cover 38.
Yeah.
So most likely this is going to come out after that game happens anyway. So I'm either going to look like a genius or sound like an idiot.
I'm going to do my best to have it loaded up before the games go off.
So that one's at 9:00 tonight.
Okay.
NC State plays at 7. They play Western Carolina or West Carolina, something like that. Yeah. They should
be a blowout.
Roll. Let's see if there's anything else of note tonight. I think they're North Carolina and Minnesota. It's probably the best game tonight
as far as matchup goes. Yeah.
Minnesota has done very well in game ones.
Beat the shit out of Maryland almost.
So
every year.
I wouldn't say that, but Minnesota is the underdog.
Okay.
They're plus 105 money line.
Okay.
But I like Minnesota to win.
Oh.
I think they're going to be good.
Little profit margin there.
North Carolina should be good this year as well, but they struggle at the beginning of the year.
Gotcha.
So if you're looking for another one there as well, that's pretty much it for Thursday night. Let's see what else we have. Friday, Temple and Oklahoma. Interesting. TCU and Stanford. Somewhat interesting.
Could be.
Let's see. And obviously the two biggest games on Saturday are Clemson and Georgia.
Yeah.
That's a noon kickoff too.
Ooh.
So
I did see. Yeah. So they were hyping that up this past weekend on College Game Day about how one of the biggest, considering the biggest opening week game is that has a 12:00 slate.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's when they were in Ireland, that was pretty cool.
And
that setup was cool.
The two biggest games are going head to head at noon. You have Clemson and Georgia at noon on ABC, and then you have Penn State and West Virginia at noon on Fox. They're doing like the big noon kickoff there.
Okay.
Pat McAfee's going to be in Morgantown.
He's a big WV guy. He was last week. I listened to. He's all over West Virginia.
I don't know.
All over.
He might be as drunk as he was in Ireland and West Virginia. So that's
it's easy to find a drink there.
They like their beer in Morgantown.
Yes, they do.
So it's a good party school.
Oh yeah.
But I kind of West Virginia with Pat McAfee show being there with the big spotlight.
Do they buckle under pressure? Do they show up?
Let's see. Penn State is an 8-point favorite. I'm going to take West Virginia to cover.
Okay.
Don't know if I'm going to pull the upset on that one, but I like West Virginia to cover.
With the points. Yep, with the points.
Clemson and Georgia. Georgia's 13.5 point favorite.
I'm going with Georgia.
To cover 13.5?
Yep. Write it down. Take it to the bank.
All right. I could get on board with that, but that's a lot of points.
Danny's not going to like me for saying that. Dan the man.
Another one that could be, I know Oklahoma State is supposed to be very good this year. Mm-hmm. They're ranked 17 right now. They play South Dakota State. which is also an FCS powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I think they won last year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Spread on that one is Oklahoma State by 9.5. You could look at South Dakota State to cover.
Okay.
Probably not going to pull the upset on a top 25 team.
No.
But especially because I think Oklahoma State is going to be pretty
And once
good.
again, you keep saying opening week, these teams haven't gotten the juices going just yet. So, a lot. That's why you're seeing a lot of these spreads, maybe single digits, instead of if this was a midseason matchup, it'd probably be a 14 or 15 point spread.
Maybe the biggest spread of the week: Ohio State and Akron, 48.5.
Lord, good Lord,
that's nuts.
I'd have to go back and look at the history because I'm pretty sure they play them almost every year. I'd have to go back and look at the history before because everything in me wants to say just put something on Akron to cover.
48.5.
Many points.
That's a lot.
Yes, so many points.
Let's see. I won't take too much longer. I'm just going through.
No, you're good.
And the big game
matchups
that night, 7:30 is Notre Dame and Texas A&M. You had Notre Dame.
I do.
Going a long way. This is going to be the biggest test of their year. Week 1.
Week 1. What's that line on that game?
Texas A&M is favored by 3.
Oh, and the Fighting Irish are underdogs.
Yeah.
Is it at Notre Dame or at
A&M?
It's
at Texas A&M.
At A&M,
which is one of the toughest places to play.
It's probably why that they're a +3 right now.
So,
because other than that game would be a pick'em. Usually, if you see a team, and I'm just going off of all the years that I've gambled on in the NFL, is normally when a matchup should be a dead heat, a pick'em. You know what I mean, like a half a point or something like that. If it's a field goal, that's mainly because one team is getting home. It has a huge home field advantage over the other. So, for obvious reasons, I'm going with Notre Dame.
And then we have Sunday. Sunday we have USC and LSU.
Okay. One of the few weeks of the year we get to see college football on a Sunday.
Exactly. So LSU is a 4-point favorite.
Okay.
That game, hammer the over.
Oh,
lots of points.
100%. What is
64.5?
I was going to say it's got to be in the 60s. Yeah.
So
that'll probably be a 48 to 44 finish. So it'll probably finish close to 90 points.
Something like that.
Yep.
So those are the big games on the slate week 1.
It's a hell of a week.
Yeah, week 1.
Hell of a week.
Good slate of games.
Yeah.
Excited about that.
Yep. Fill up that DraftKings account.
Yeah.
Time to unload it in the DraftKings account and just start putting 10 here, 20 there.
I need to reload for sure. I did put some futures in and everything.
He told me he did that. Yep.
Let me we want to.
I'm not betting on Notre Dame because I actually want them to win. If we come back here in January and Notre Dame's in the national championship game, can I wear like a wizard hat for the whole year?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay. I predicted quite a few things. The fact that I predicted the NBA Finals and the exact number of games I thought was quite impressive as well.
I have Alabama to make the playoff.
Okay.
That's about it in this one. But I did make some NFL future bets.
Oh, now we're getting into my realm. I told you that this year I'm going to do my absolute best to keep my head in college football on Saturday because I haven't been the biggest follower of that. But NFL, I can talk all day. What do you got?
So I have the Tennessee Titans to make the playoffs.
How much money are you losing?
They're going to make the playoffs.
How much money are you losing?
I put $25 on it.
You lost $25.
And so,
sorry.
You
think that they're better than the Texans and the Colts?
They don't have to be better than both of them.
Okay, so them two are in their division, which means they got to play them twice. So there's 4 losses.
Hey, they just got to get in.
They
don't have to be the number 1 seed.
They would be the number.
They don't have to win their division.
Number 7 wild card.
They just got to get in. That roster up and down.
You got to get some great odds on that one. that like plus 300?
Plus 425.
425. Okay.
So it's a long shot, sure. Sure, I'll give you that. What else? I did a real long shot. I have the Commanders to make the playoffs. I'm laughing as I say it. The Titans, Ravens, Chiefs, and the Lions. That was
3 of those are very safe bets.
Parlay plus.
Oh, parlay. Okay.
So yeah, it's a parlay. So
okay.
It's plus 4,199. So I only put $5 on that one, but
hey, well, so you have to, right? Because
maybe I'll get a good cash out option.
If you put, that's what I'm saying though. But if you put 25 on each individual one to make it, you might as well throw a $5 parlay in there.
Exactly.
Because that's what you're hoping for, and that would be the biggest payout. Because you just get the better odds once you start stacking them like that.
Let's see what else I got. Have you put in any?
I have not yet. Nope.
Okay.
I'm still waiting to see what the waiver wire happens over the next week and any injuries that happen between now and next Thursday, and then I will throw them in.
This is a college football one.
Okay.
I have Maryland over 6 wins, Rutgers over 6 wins, Michigan State over 6 wins. They're not supposed to be very good this year, but
probably good odds.
Maryland and Rutgers are both probably
pretty solid. Yeah, you should.
West Virginia over 6, UCF over 6, and Oklahoma State over 6.
Okay.
So
is that a parlay, or you got all individuals parlay?
Okay. And then
your Michigan State probably shot their odds up on that one.
Yeah, I do have a long shot. I told you of Maryland making the playoff.
You did. Yeah, you told me about that one.
So that plus 2,500.
Great odds, man.
It's
great odds.
And then I had Iowa too, but that was just plus 550. So, yeah, but I think I'm excited. Did we want to look? I know we were talking about NFL. Did we want to pick division winners?
I say let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you want to go first, or you want me to go first? Let's go division by division.
Okay. Let's start AFC.
Okay. AFC East.
That's fine. I have the Miami Dolphins.
I have the Buffalo Bills.
Okay. Even though Josh Allen has 0 targets to throw to.
We'll figure it out.
Okay. I mean, he's a ball player.
Yep.
He's a baller. Their defense is still one of the best in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know. I think this is the year that Miami makes a true run. They ain't making it to the Super Bowl, but they're going to make a true run. They're going to dominate the league. So, and that's a shout out to anybody drafting fantasy wise. Probably wouldn't be horrible to go Tyreek and Jalen Waddle and Devin A-Chain and Mostert and all them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that brings up one of my ideas for what's worse. The fantasy drafts are alive and present in the last few days.
Yes, they are. Last few weeks for people who are really weird.
Going through a fantasy draft, what's worse to deal with? Someone who takes forever to make their pick.
So it takes like the full 3 minutes, like down to the wire?
Yeah, or a minute or a minute and a half, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who takes forever, or the person that is just blowing up the chat.
Depends on how you're drafting. If you're drafting from your computer, then I got to say the guy who's taking all the time in the world.
Yep.
But if you're drafting from your phone, which a lot of the little leagues that I'm in, I do, I would say the chat guy, because you constantly have to pull yourself off the drafting screen to see what's being said and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it all depends on the situation for me. So, which guy, if I just had to pick one straight up, I definitely have to say the guy that takes the entire time to draft.
Me too. I'm a guy that I'm not extremely patient in those situations. I'm like, let's get this over with as quick as we can.
Yep.
And when I pick, I normally make my pick in like 15 seconds.
Sure, 30 at the most. Yeah. And that's if I catch a flyer somewhere. But I was in a draft a week ago, and the commissioner had to go in because like we went through 2 rounds, and you could tell they were just people that just weren't on. So the commissioner went in, set them to auto pick. All right. So, okay, great. Now I know that whoever's at the top of ESPN's list, they're the ones that are going to get taken from those. Then you had a guy that messaged in and he put on the message board because everyone's like, "Are you there? Are you drafting? Are you?" He's like, "I have my queue set up." If you're not familiar, when you have your queue set up, it will draft the person at the top of your queue, but it will run the entire clock
If you're
before it
logged
takes
in.
them.
If you're not logged in, it'll auto pick.
He stayed logged in. No. He stayed so he just kept the app up on his phone, but was not drafting. But he said he had his queue set.
Oh, that's the worst person.
So every single it frustrated. I don't even know the person, but it frustrated the hell out of me because and of course, who was he before? Me.
You want to know what's even worse? The person in the fantasy football like group chat that has an Android that makes it a green dot special. So
time to grow up.
Yep. But anyway, moving back to what we were talking about.
Okay.
So we have AFC East.
I got Miami. You got Buffalo.
Yep. Okay. How about AFC North?
Hometown, Baltimore. I think that we finally got the pieces that we need.
I'm gonna go Bengals.
I figured you would. That's fair.
Just
that's not. I mean,
just to be different.
It's.
But I think the Ravens are.
You have to at least admit that it's damn near a coin flip.
They're both going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's going to be dominant all year.
What do we go? AFC South.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who you got?
I'll let you go first.
Tennessee Titans.
You would. I gotta go Houston. Houston not only did so amazing last year, they reloaded again this year. They went out and got some big pieces, not only in the draft but in free agency and trade. They took a team that was a B last year and turned them into a B plus, A minus.
I think we're in for a little bit of a sophomore slump.
I don't think so.
But all right. So Fair I got enough. The Titans. You got the Texans.
Yeah.
AFC West. I'll go first. Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I don't want to, it's hard to go with any other. I mean, if you're going Denver, you're smoking crack.
Really, any of the other three?
Yeah, I mean, you never know with Vegas. Vegas hangs around a little bit. Their defense can keep them around for a little while. Their quarterback situations though is just garbage. But yeah, you got to go. It's Kansas City. That's one we will definitely agree on.
Yeah.
So unless Pat Mahomes goes down, it's Kansas City. So
I agree. All right, going over to the NFC.
Yep.
NFC East, NFC Beast.
I'll let you lead this one.
I think the Eagles are gonna let down. I don't think they're gonna be as good as what they think.
We're gonna say the same
I
thing.
cannot say the Cowboys. Can't do it.
How about them Cowboys?
Yep. So I'm gonna say the Commanders because the Giants aren't even relevant. So Commanders. That's a hometown. I'm not.
That's a hometown pick.
Sure, right there, you can slander me all you want, but stick to my guns.
The guy is faithful.
Yep.
The guy's faithful.
Jaden Daniels is going to have a great year. Not win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but
why not?
Because of Caleb Williams.
Okay. Yeah,
but he's going to have in it.
Caleb Williams has so many weapons.
I think the way Jaden Daniels is going to be able to run the ball too, though, is going to be
make him a difference maker. Yeah. Difference maker for sure. Which is why I at all costs, I ended up.
Hopefully, he stays healthy.
I ended up having to take one, but at all costs, I wanted to avoid Washington running backs because of that factor. Because he's going to vulture those 5-yard touchdown runs and stuff like that, especially when they run a couple option plays with him and stuff. But yeah, I think best friend on that team is going to be the tight ends, and the running backs will be more heavily involved because I think that they'll do a lot of screens to the backs and swings to the backs and stuff, just to get him in the flow of what the NFL
Yeah.
and everything. So
Who you got?
I don't mind that. How about them Cowboys? I told you.
Dak.
They blew a $1,500 parlay for me last year. I'm going with them this year. Not going to do it again. Philly would fit. I
think Philly's going to blow up this year. I don't think they're going to.
I hit 5 out of 6 division winners.
Right.
Philly blew it for me in the last week. $1,500 on I bet 60. It was a $60 bet that would have been worth $1,500, and Philly blew it in the last week.
Yikes!
Yeah, I was upset.
Yeah,
I was quite upset.
I could tell.
Yeah, and I didn't. The worst part was that they gave me a cash out probably week 14. It was like a $400 cash out, and I'm like,
not worth it.
But Philly had like a 4-game, and I'm like, there's no way.
Mm-hmm.
There's no and lo and behold, there is a way. There's always a way.
All right, let's go
South.
NFC South.
Okay.
So you got Bucks, you got Falcons,
Saints and Panthers.
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll happily go first.
Go for it.
Hotlanta, baby. Hotlanta. Kirky Cousins is going to lead them to a division win. And it's still going to be a shit show division like it was last year. Like it'll be, I got a feeling no one's going to have an amazing record. Like it, maybe 10-7 wins it for you. Maybe even 9-8. But I think a 10-7 record from Hotlanta, getting Kirk Cousins and the offensive weapons that they have, and did a little bit of building on defense. New Orleans is still stuck in cap jail. They're going to be there forever. So they weren't able to make any serious moves or anything. They're just coming back with the same team that they put on the field last year, maybe slightly healthier.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. Tampa Bay was going to be my dark horse just because I'm a Baker guy. I love the way that guy plays, and their offense is still. I mean, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. And then of course only a crazy person will take Carolina. But yeah, I got to go Hotlanta. They're getting a lot of build up this year. They're getting a lot of publicity and all that kind of stuff. They made a lot of splashes in the offseason. I'm going Hotlanta.
I'm going Tampa Bay.
Okay, that's like I said. It was to me. It was one or the other.
Watch Kirk Cousins long enough to be let down.
He does get let down. Yeah, he does let you down, but he is consistent. He's consistent as far as production, but he's also consistent in letting you down. So
I like Kirk Cousins. But,
Kirk Cousins.
I like Baker more.
Accountant likes Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
All that guaranteed money.
Then we'll go NFC North.
I think this is slowly becoming the toughest division in the NFL. I really think it is, and I'm going to go at, let's see, Kate will shoot me if I don't. You know what? That's money. Green Bay. I might have to sleep on the couch for saying that, but Green Bay.
I like that. I tend to agree with you on that, but just to be different. And
sure.
I also think Detroit is going to be right there.
Yes.
I think Minnesota's going to be okay even without JJ. I think Darnold's going to start hot.
If he can manage.
I think he's going to start hot, and then they're going to come down to reality.
Yeah.
And then who's the other team?
Chicago.
The Bears, I think, are going to be better this year.
They'll be better. They're better be better.
500-ish.
Yeah.
And make things tougher on that division, which
is why I said that division is slowly becoming one of the toughest divisions in the NFL, without a doubt.
I almost wanted to go with the Bears, but that's crazy.
It's not a bad like you talk about long shots. I would take the Bears making the playoffs way before I take Tennessee making the playoffs. If you wanted to throw a long shot bet
I might play with that. Maybe play with both of them. But I like Detroit.
I'm
going Detroit.
I got you. That's what, like I said,
Jared Goff.
My heart wants Detroit because it's just I want them to win now. I want them to win. I love their head coach. I love the team that they put together. I like the fact that they're building a good system there. But Jordan Love was undoubtedly the second half of the season MVP last year.
Thank you.
In the NFL, second half MVP, and I think he just keeps going with it. So they made a few roster changes, I think, actually for the better. So that's why I just think they're the overall more. I think they're going to get just, and it'll be close. It might
I think
come
he's
down.
going to come back down to reality a little bit.
Jordan Love,
yeah.
you think? Yeah.
But
what he did with no name wide receivers last year,
he's going to have to do it again this year.
Because they didn't go out and get him anybody, which is typical of Green Bay.
So I don't know. I like Detroit. I like they've
I think
shown it a couple years now
in a row. I think it'll be by one game though.
Yeah, it's going to be very close.
Yeah. There's not going to be a runaway in that division whatsoever.
And then we have the NFC West, which is not a very exciting division.
Going Rams. I think this is the resurgence of the Rams. I think that they make one last run at it with Stafford. I think this might be Stafford's last year. There's no more Aaron Donald officially retired. So I think that they got enough pieces in place. And Sean McVay's he's an offensive genius.
Yeah.
So, and I think if you look at all four teams in that division, I think they're the most complete.
I agree. So I'm going to go Rams as well.
Okay. So we had two that we agreed upon: the Rams and the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Both West.
Yeah.
West Coast.
AFC and NFC West. Yeah.
Yep.
I like it.
So cool.
I like in the
that.
comments what you all think. For sure. I mean, I guarantee at least two of these divisions each. We'll probably clip them out and post them. That way, we can get a little bit more recognition and everything, and we can come back to them later on.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do a mid-season review, so to see which of these are on pace and which of them that we just got completely baffled by. But yeah, I mean, I love the fact that we butted heads on 6 out of the 8.
Yeah.
So.
And then let's go real quickly. Let's pick our Super Bowl picks. Early Super Bowl pick.
Would you like to go first?
I can go first.
You always offer me the floor. I have my 2. You always offer me the floor, so I'd like for you to pick your 2 first.
Okay. I am going to go Chiefs from the AFC. And are we going to pick the winner, or are we just – okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go Chiefs and this one could really go in any way. Try not to take too long.
There you go.
I'm going to go Chiefs and let's go Chiefs-Lions Super Bowl. And the Kansas City Chiefs win. Three-peat, which has never been done.
Never been done.
So I'm going Chiefs to three-peat.
Baltimore, Detroit. Baltimore wins.
All right.
I love the Detroit pick. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, and I think it could come down to Detroit versus Green Bay, or it could come down to, I believe, Detroit versus the Rams in the NFC Championship, and the AFC is to me almost undoubtedly going to be Baltimore and the Chiefs, most likely at Arrowhead, like it almost always is. But I think the Ravens finally get over that hump. Finally.
One can hope.
So, yeah. And that's not me being a homer.
Hope is a dangerous drug.
That's not me being a homer. I just think the odds of a three-peat in the NFL, I mean.
They're not, it could happen.
Yeah, could.
But.
Definitely a possibility. I just think the odds of it are too long. So.
We'll see.
Yeah. Chiefs are already starting to deal with controversy and everything already. Hollywood going down. They finally cut Kadarius Toney, which he should have been cut.
He almost lost. He lost them 2 games last year.
Yes, he should have been cut midway through the Super Bowl last year at halftime. He should have never shown up.
And then
good predictions though.
That
wouldn't be a bad little bet to put in.
Yeah.
$10 on the Super Bowl contenders.
Next week we'll do Rookie of the Year, offense and defense,
All the
MVP.
individual awards. Yeah.
We'll do that next week.
Yep. I like that.
And then moving on, we have golf FedEx Championship this week.
Yeah.
Weekend.
Big weekend.
$100 million purse.
That's what it said. $100 million.
So obviously the winner doesn't get 100, but that's
spread out.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's essentially the biggest purse the whole year.
I think they can thank Live Golf.
They better, because Live Golf like averages that.
Put some pressure on them.
That's Live Golf's average.
So very well.
Should be a very good weekend of golf. You should see some of the best golf that you're going to see all year this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely,
sure.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yep. So
exciting.
And they had the creator.
Oh, that's right. I didn't get to see any of it. Tell me about it.
So that was pretty cool. They did it was obviously a different kind of format. I think they had 12 or 16 golfers total. I think it was 16. 4 tee times, four golfer groups. And I mean, you had everybody. You had Bob Does Sports. You had Good. You had, Paige Sporadic. They were all out there. So I love the fact that they incorporated the women too, because the women golf enthusiasts are just as good as the men. They truly are. Like Paige is amazing. Cho's amazing. Like they're all amazing golfers and everything like that. And it was a cool format. So they played 8 holes. The top 4 scores from the 8 holes then did a playoff 1 hole.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah. So it was a pretty interesting form. And I mean, it was on Peacock. It was on ESPN YouTube Live. It was on ESPN Plus.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like they had a lot of major play. Yeah. Joel Dahman was one of the announcers. He was down there on the course walking around with them. That was awesome. Presented by how is it? What's the grill? The flat
Blackstone
grill. Is it Blackstone? So I said it right. Yeah, Blackstone. That was they were the title presenting sponsor and everything. But it was pretty cool. I mean, you had one guy who hit a 55-foot putt.
Wow.
Amazing putt. Yes, absolutely amazing putt. He didn't end up winning it, but that put him into the finals. Yeah, I mean, there were some you saw some really, really, really bad shots, right? But then you also saw some like, oh shit, that's one hell of a shot,
Yeah.
And most of them had more good shots than they did bad. I think the worst score though was like +9. So the guy essentially bogeyed every hole and had one double bogey, which
bogey golf in my world
we can all just hope to ever play bogey golf at all times.
Yeah.
But it just went. Now there were a few heavy hitters that were not there. Grant Horvat, he did not play, which I think he would have absolutely destroyed most of them. I personally think Grant is probably the best YouTube golfer that never played the Pro Tour golfer on YouTube and Enthusiast and everything. Fat Perez was out there. He didn't do too well. For some reason, he just because I watched him in the other tournament that they had, and he didn't do too well on that either. I guess I don't know if he gets tournament jitters or something. But Bob is always his caddy, which I think is awesome because Perez would not be there without Bob. Mm-hmm. Now, if he asked Bob, like, hey, can I get a legit caddy? I think Bob would 100% take a step back and be like, absolutely, go win this fucking thing. But I just think that's never going to happen. He's always going to want Bob there because he wouldn't be where he's at right now without Bob. He would still be sitting in an office building as an accountant because that's what he did before. He was an accountant prior to doing that.
Okay.
Yep. So, but yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. Yeah, and like I said, I love the fact that they incorporated a handful of the female enthusiasts and stuff like
that's
that
awesome.
Because, like I said, they are just a couple of them posted top scores. They are just as good, but yeah, I mean, it was a cool. I mean, it was like 3-hour production, so it was like watching just a long movie essentially. But you got to see all the people that you constantly watch the videos of every week, and it's like them all playing against each other.
That might be the future of golf.
So funny enough, the PGA's homepage today, the main top story on the front page was the creators was the Creators Tournament. So
Wow.
they're getting more and more into this, and
it's helping grow the game.
It
sure.
is. No,
yeah.
absolutely. Well, not only that, but now you have Adam Sandler coming out with Happy Gilmore 2. And he came out and said, yes, every golfer that we reached out to undoubtedly said, yes, we'll be a part of it. We'll do whatever you need us to do, which I thought was amazing.
Awesome.
So, and then the Kelseys, they had them on their podcast this past week.
Speaking of the Kelseys.
Uh-oh.
Did you see Did you see the deal they made with Amazon?
No.
They just got paid, or their contract is worth $100 million with Amazon to do their podcast on there.
Stop.
Yep.
Wow. New heights for sure.
$100 million.
New heights. We're looking for $100. We started 100, and we will blast sponsor your company.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. I mean, but it's literally. I mean, it's. You think it's surpassed Rogan's?
No.
No. Do you think it will? Do you think Rogan has hit his peak? Is what I'm saying. Because I do not believe New Heights has hit its peak yet. But I guarantee
they're just so different.
They are, but they're in the same. It's the same realm.
Yeah.
It's much different content, without a doubt. But it's the same realm.
I don't know. That's hard to compare.
Okay.
I don't know that they'll ever be bigger.
Do you believe Rogan is the top podcast? Like, of all of them?
I think that's the standard.
The standard, yeah.
I don't know if I would say, if someone talks podcast, they immediately think Joe Rogan.
Yeah. See, I love asking you these questions because you've been on the podcast train for years.
Yeah.
Like back before it was a podcast, it was just a couple dudes sitting there talking on YouTube.
Yeah, and you just listen on the app. You're not like watching it on YouTube.
Yeah. Yep.
But
yep.
I don't know. Maybe they will be one day, but I think Joe Rogan has a much different lane.
It's much different content for sure. Yeah, like much different script and all that kind of stuff.
But I think with them bringing in kind of that Taylor Swift audience, as well, maybe the Swifties.
That's a huge audience.
Maybe the Swifties.
That's worldwide audience.
Yeah.
So Rogan is slightly worldwide, mainly because of UFC, and then his guests that he brings on are mostly worldwide known. But yeah, you throw Taylor into the mix, she's one of the most recognizable people in the world.
100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was
that's all good for them. That's awesome. Though.
Yeah.
With Jason just retiring and him, I mean, did you watch a documentary on him?
Yeah, it's really
that was awesome. And like at the end, he's like, even like Travis was like, you need to figure something out, dude, because you're driving me nuts. Because he would go to like a cow raising thing, and then he went to plant stuff in his garden, and then he's flipping houses, and he's doing this, and Travis was like, you better pick one damn thing. He goes, because you ain't gonna be able to do all this. He goes, you're not gonna be able to do it all great. And now, I mean, you get offered $100 million to sit behind a camera and talk to your brother. I mean, basically, you get to talk to your brother once a week, whenever you want to.
It's awesome. And talk about whatever you want.
And when you have Amazon behind you, you can have any guest that you want at that point as well. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they get friggin' Vladimir Putin on there. You know what I mean? Just the bullshit around. I mean, they never will because that's not their content. But you know what I mean? I guarantee they start bringing in more and more movie stars and all that kind of stuff. So, because once again, we're talking movie stars. Adam Sandler is one of the most recognizable people in the entire world.
And they just had him on there.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Yeah, I think that's all super interesting
big
stuff.
News in the podcast world.
So the other things we had for this week were I'll do a quick NASCAR last weekend.
Yes.
They were at Daytona.
That guy didn't win, did he?
No. But there was a probably bigger long shot than him that won.
Really?
And now he's locked into the playoffs. I think he was at like 34th or something in points, and now he won. Harrison Burton won. His dad is one of the announcers calling the race too. So that was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
So that was cool. But now there's 1 week left. They're at Darlington this weekend. and then the playoffs will start.
Gotcha.
F1 is back this weekend.
Okay.
From their summer break.
Okay.
So that's really all I got there. But we'll move into the top 3.
Okay.
So I think the one that we decided we were going to do this week was top 3 foods for a football Sunday or Saturday, whatever.
Okay. Now
you want to say.
Let's make it clear. Is this?
Are we doing at home or tailgating?
That's literally yes.
Okay.
See,
this
is why we do this together. Yeah, literally. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Let's do tailgating. College football is more tailgating.
I love it.
I would say let's do tailgating this week.
Yes.
Next week we'll do at home.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
So I will. You want me to go first?
Yes.
All right. Yep. So
set the scene too.
Set the scene.
Set the scene.
All right. So I'll go with this one because after I graduated from Frostburg,
okay.
We always had a family member that had Maryland season tickets. So we would go to a lot of the Maryland home games and tailgate.
Okay.
And we would get there like 7, 8 in the morning and
sure.
start for a 12 o'clock game or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, which was awesome. It was so much. That was way more fun than the game.
Than the game itself, right?
Yep. And at that time, you could not. There was no alcohol sold inside the stadium.
So you had to get your fill before you went in.
Yes. So, but also it was awesome because you could really go after it at the beginning and then kind of use the game to sober up to be able to go home.
Not condoning that,
but either way. So you're there. It's a nice fall morning.
Okay.
It's maybe 60 or 70 degrees.
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful.
You know, or later in the year it gets a little colder, which is awesome as well. But you've got a cooler full of beer. You have got a one of those like tailgate grills going. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna go with my top 3 foods at a tailgate.
Something that if you're walking up to a tailgate that you've been invited to, if they have these 3, you look at the guy who's running it and be like, you know what, you're all right.
I have my top. I'm going to go top down.
Okay.
My number 1 is going to be buffalo chicken dip.
Ooh.
Paired with a Chick-fil-A nugget.
Oh!
So that you can.
You dirty dog!
Some real.
You dirty dog!
Big boy stuff. But you.
This ain't for you little medium bitches, by the way.
You dip the Chick-fil-A nugget in the
you
buffalo chicken
didn't
dip.
need to explain it. Yeah. If you didn't know what he was referring to, you get on that level.
That's magical.
Yes. Oh my God. And and when it's cool enough, you see the steam coming off of the buffalo chicken. Oh.
Number 2 is sausages with the peppers too.
You stole mine, you bitch.
And that could be a number 1.
It is.
But that's my number 2. And my number 3, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really struggling with what to go for a number 3.
Okay.
But at number 3, I'm gonna go with Alito's Pizza. It's a Maryland, College Park.
Yeah.
You got Alito's Pizza.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Okay.
So, but that's not really for a morning tailgate. That's more afternoon.
Sure.
So my number 3 could be Alito's Pizza, or it could be hamburgers and hot dogs.
Okay. The traditional hamburger hot dog at the. I got you.
No. Nope.
Oh.
Hold up. Wait a minute. All right. So let me start from the beginning again.
Had a little too much dip on your chip there.
Buffalo chicken dip paired with a Chick-fil-A nugget tray.
Gotcha.
Number 2 is a sausage with peppers.
Yep.
No onions, just peppers. Number 3 is going to be fried chicken. Okay. Fried chicken is a great tailgate.
Yes, it is.
Food.
Yep, it is.
There you go. My list is complete.
Okay. All right. What a lit. Now I'm starving.
It is lunchtime.
It is lunchtime. All right. So I have never tailgated a college football game before.
What?
So I have to give you my NFL tailgate experience. Okay. Let me set the mood for when my perfect tailgate happens.
Okay.
It's January.
All right.
Okay.
Freezing.
I'm talking, I want 35-degree kickoff. 35, 40 degrees max. Max. I want to be bundled up. I want the sock hat. I want the hoodie under the jersey type of game. Okay. Snow would just, I would need nothing else in life if it snowed. Doesn't snow, it's okay. But if it snows, amazing. You get to the tailgate. Your number 2 is my number 1. You get them; those links are on the grill. You got the peppers up top that are marinating, and that's one. My father used to cook them on the grill. The aluminum tins, like the 10x12s, put them in there, can of beer, let them soak in it, let them cook in the beer and everything. Beer brat right on the bun, and it's with the potato bun, right? You add your peppers on, spicy brown mustard. Spicy browns.
You lost me.
Oh, that's okay.
Not a mustard guy, but that's okay.
I'm a big mustard guy. Spicy brown delicatessen deli mustard, and I'm in heaven. I'll eat 9 of them. I'll eat 9 before I even get to my first beer. I'll eat 9. Of course, there's beer there. There's no question there. Normally, there's a bottle of something as well.
If it's that cold, yeah, you gotta have
something light. It might be
liquor.
Fireball. We're not talking a bottle of Tawaka or a bottle of 1942. We're talking, bottle of something you can have, fun shots. I like to call them. Do fun shots with. All right. Number 2 for me is going to be a big pot of Maryland crab soup. On that cold winter day, someone makes a huge pot of Maryland crab. You got the little styrofoam bowl. You got your bread with maybe a little butter on it, and you're just sitting there eating, just watching. Somebody might have a TV up or something like that.
Quick question.
Sure.
Is it cream of crab or is it the crab soup?
Crab soup.
Okay.
I love cream of crab. I'll take over Maryland crab soup any day of the week. But if we're tailgating, it's 30 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And we're down in Baltimore, I want straight the red crab soup.
Okay.
Yep, red crab, without a doubt. So that's my solid, and I am not a soup person. So every one of my family members that watches this are going to be like, "You lying?" But no, I'm not really like that. It will be one of the few times I'll eat soup. And then number 3 for me will be a cheesesteak. I've gone to many tailgates where they got the Blackstones down there. They just bring the whole thing with them, and they're slicing up cheesesteaks, peppers, fried onions, mushrooms if you're into mushrooms. I'm not on my cheesesteak, but nice cheesesteak, long hoagie roll, you'll probably clip that, you bastard.
I would never.
Yeah, right. Hoagie roll and a nice cheesesteak with a nice beer. Yeah.
Love it.
Yep.
That's a good solid list.
That to me is that's Maryland tailgating.
I've even seen people that are starting to bring like the pizza ovens.
Yeah.
And doing that.
Seeing that a lot too.
That looks cool.
Yep.
Because all you really need is a propane tank and one of those pizza ovens.
Yep.
And
are you big on you can taste the huge difference between something being cooked on charcoal and something being cooked on propane?
Like on a grill?
Mm-hmm. Grill wise?
I prefer propane.
You prefer propane? Okay.
What about you?
Honestly, it comes down to one thing. If you're doing barbecue chicken, I want it on charcoal.
Okay.
Because the charcoal burns the barbecue sauce a little bit better than a propane grill will. And it tastes like a burnt end almost on top of the chicken. That's just, where I'm at there. But other than that, you don't need to waste your time getting all that charcoal stuff. Just bring your propane grill.
I like I don't know. It's been so long that I've done a chicken breast or chicken thigh on a charcoal grill because I don't have one. Well, I had one in college, but that was
my father breaks it out every once in a while because essentially, like when my parents have parties over the summer, we'll just have so many people that he uses the propane grill to do all the hamburgers and hot dogs and everything. He'll have something going in the smoker, either wings or he'll have a pork butt or something in there. But usually, if we're doing barbecue chicken, he'll get the charcoal grill going. He's got the standard eggshell black one, nothing special. The one that you get from like Ace Hardware. And
we had
special.
One for like $25.
Yeah,
college,
but that's all you need, right?
Yeah.
It'll last you years, and he'll get that going. He'll throw he's either Jack Daniel's coals or hickory smoked coals or something, and then so it comes at hickory smoked barbecue chip. Oh, why do we always talk about food at the end of these things?
Yeah,
I gotta leave and drive by 5 food spots on the way home, and none of them offer what we've been talking about. That's the worst part.
That was a solid list. I like
both sides. That was a great yes. Once again, in the comments, throw in your top 3 tailgating.
I know what I was gonna
what you got?
Say on this.
Okay.
So we also tailgated in Frostburg and kind of to set the scene a little bit.
Yeah.
That this was obviously after I was done playing, but
I'm sorry. I guess you could say, I have tailgated at Salisbury.
Yeah,
but I'm talking D1.
Yeah, it's different. It's different for sure.
Whole different experience.
But Frostburg, like they have this parking lot right outside of the stadium that during homecoming and like that, you kind of almost get that Division I feel in that little parking lot.
Yep. Where the magic happens.
Yeah. So we went up there for homecoming, or it might have been the last time they played Salisbury. And I'm not going to name any names here, but we drank a bottle of whiskey. Because it was like 10 degrees.
I was good. That'll warm you up, little nip.
And then
that'll warm you.
The beers were flowing.
Oh yeah.
But you're just drinking the whiskey like on ice in a red cup, like, and we were torn up,
toasted.
I should stop this story now.
No, you're good. You can't now. Train's already left the station.
But we went in. We went into the game and went into like the box where they had some of the alumni and stuff, and they had wings and pizza in there. And someone came out of there with wing sauce all over their face.
Tell me this is a relative of yours?
Not a relative.
No, okay.
Not a relative.
Okay, all right.
You'd know him, but I'm not going to name names.
Okay. Once the camera stops, he's going to tell me.
And then...
and I'm calling you out.
We were standing on the sideline, and he's got...
You all didn't tell him?
We did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we did.
You let that man walk down to the sidelines with chicken wing sauce all over his face.
But I'll leave it at that. But that was a good time. But I know, like, my parents, like, before the games and stuff, my dad would always have a bottle of Crown Royal. And
there you go.
Because once you get to like mid-October up there, dude, it gets cold quick. And
it gets cold quick.
Up on the mountain, you get the breeze too, and it gets cold quick. Yeah. So you need.
It's already started snowing in Montana, which normally means Western Maryland. Frostburg Pass, Western Maryland area up in the mountains. It'll be snowing within the next 2 months.
You'll get your first snow beginning of October. That's like it'll be maybe a
dusting
or something.
Nothing. But won't stick for too long. But I'm saying the first will hit usually October.
I remember the first time it snowed. We were just into October or whatever. Like, oh man, it's snowing. Do you think we're still gonna have practice? Fuck yeah, we did. Like there was no, but it was freezing because it was like 70 degrees the day before, and then you get you never knew what you were going to get up there weather-wise. Sure. But yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Salisbury was similar, but not. It was either really hot or it was raining. You guys got snow, we got rain.
Snow's much better.
Oh, much better.
So, but we're not a half hour from the beach. So, yeah, that's it. You got anything else?
No, great episode.
Oh, dad moment of the week.
Oh, of course. Yes, of course.
All right.
I'll go for you've went first past couple of weeks. I will go first. Doc is officially on the move. Crawling. He's got the legs are going now, the hands are going now, going from one side of the room. No more one side of the crib to the other. It's one side of the room to the other. Nice. in a split second, and it's pretty cool. Kate sent me a video yesterday while she was at work, and she rolled a ball out about 5 feet in front of her, he whipped his head around, saw it, and then just went right after it. I was like, oh, that's
dude, at
cool.
that
And the
age,
fact
they're
that he got
almost
on
like a
video,
dog. You can roll the ball,
right?
go get it, bring it back. Good dog. Good boy.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I love the fact that like he's so curious too. Like I just like that was one thing that, I wasn't fully prepared for. Like just trying to hold him and do something else, and he's just whipping his head around back and just trying to find any noise that he hears and everything. And he's fascinated with the dog, of course. So when we get him in his little wheelie chair thing, he chases the dog all around the house. Yeah, dog's like, just leave me.
Yep.
But he just chases them around. Yep. So what about you? What do you got?
For me, I think I kind of talked about this last week, but this week, last weekend, we had Haley's like first game that she was cheering at.
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah. Yep.
Got to watch some football,
There you go.
and everything, and it was awesome.
Oh yeah.
And
it's just the best time of year.
yeah,
Just
and it's
overall.
awesome because it's all of our friends, it's all of her friends there.
Yep.
It's awesome to be able to see that, and they do it at like the high school that she'll end up going to and everything. It's not at like a park or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They do it right. But it's awesome to see that. It's cool.
Love that.
And she enjoys it, so that's exciting.
And it brings back, obviously not the cheering part, but just going to events like that and stuff brings back the memories for you.
Oh yeah.
And like you're like, man, I forgot all about that. I did this up until I just witnessed my own child doing it. And I'm like, okay, I do remember. Like this was the moment my parents were in. Essentially, right? This is this. Like I'm feeling with essentially what they were feeling.
Yeah.
30 years ago, 20-some years ago. So that's awesome, though.
Yeah. So that's it. All right.
Great
that's
episode.
A wrap.
Love it.
Love it. Hit the button, but there's no button.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we stopped that.